Alright, so we're teamed up. Even though this game can't display party members. If only. I have to say it's a bit unfortunate these portable games could have used a little bit more juice. You know what I mean? Like if we were playing like, say a full console one, I feel like that there have been a bit more in the budget and more time for them to like add additional scenes and let you have Disney party members, and I feel like they would integrate the stuff well. Just a little bit better. I'd say this is a bit better than Birth by Sleep. I think I had an episode, I think it was the first Ventus episode, one of them, in which I was kind of talking about some of the issues that these games run into, some of the more recent portable ones, of trying to tell you the story and kind of just going through the rough beats and really phoning it in. And it's a bit unfortunate. That's where I feel that there has been some discourse on the internet, as there tends to be, that these games need to stop retreading the movies and come up with their own ideas for them. And I feel like a lot of that comes from the fact that the portable ones do it so poorly that people become less into the idea of them just, you know, of them doing it. Like in KH3, for example. But that being said, it looks like people are getting exactly what they want. Kingdom Hearts 3, for example, has completely new original stories for at least at least 3 of the worlds. You have Olympus, which is going to be Hercules yet again, but given the fact that they have done all the story beats that you would kind of need for the original film that they did in KH2, like, oh no, Hercules is not confident anymore. He lost his color. And fighting, then dropping Meg into the pit of souls. Like, they got rid of all that. They already took care of that. So now it's just, you know, contextualized as a Kingdom Hearts story for that world. So it's like, oh, Sora wants to get some power back because he's trying to refresh himself for the new game. So, and it's a story that seems to culminate within Mount Olympus, which you didn't see too much of that in the movie to a degree. I vaguely remember the movie. They're probably going to retread some aspects, like, oh, let's awaken the Titans, maybe. But it seems for the most part, it's its own thing. The Big Hero 6 world was confirmed to take place after the movie as a sequel. And you have the Toy Story one, which is basically going to be, I believe it was described as like Toy Story 2.5, where it is taking place after the second one, with its own original story that was vetted by the people at Pixar. So I think all of that is really cool. Them deciding to maybe just take the IP, take the movie or series that they're adapting and putting as a world in the game, and being a little bit more free with it. It's much easier to integrate your fan fiction character if the whole thing is fan fiction instead of a self-insert same story. So I didn't really describe this area. It seems pretty self-explanatory. Beat big enemies. You can move on. But yeah, I'm excited to see the extent of how much new content is being used in KH3 in terms of like, let's build new Disney stories from the ground up, because I am living within the year that the game will come out. And all the people that say that it won't come out, I will cast an evil curse on you, and you will die. I guarantee you, at some point in your life, you'll die. It's the truth, and you can't dispute it. I'm excited. We are less than a month until the next D23, which means a brand new trailer for Kingdom Hearts 3. Which, that'll be fun, because then I get to record an episode of this Let's Play, potentially, depending on how ahead I get in recording. And that means, most importantly, that I can continue to use this thing as a time capsule and comment on stuff. That's why I'm going to try and not get too far ahead, just for that specifically. So this challenge can always be scary. It's just do 3 flow motion attacks. Alright, let me bounce off the wall and shock. The problem, sometimes you might be a little too strong, and as you can see, I did just enough damage to kill him in 3. And that's scary, man. Sometimes like, oh, I did 2 flow motion attacks. Well, all the enemies are dead. And you're like, man. Also, thank God the map shows the Keyblade for previously visited rooms, or else I'd just be going backwards the whole time. We are also running into an issue that I'm running low on time. I'm gonna have to get to a vendor. But that's fine. We have 2 full meters after the yellow one to deal with. And by 2 full, I mean we got 1 full meter, and then we've got bonus time, which I believe is 30 seconds. So we gotta run with that, and hopefully I manage to not make a horrible mistake. Oh man, that went boom boom. Did you see that? Because I'd rather not have to drop and then drop Riku and then jump back in. I'd rather not do that. We may, though. We'll see. We'll see if I can get to a shop and buy some Drop Me Not so I don't have to worry about it. I would say the drop mechanic only becomes a problem when you are in a boss. If you are in a moment where the game drops you and you have to redo a boss, that sucks. That doesn't feel good. Honestly, if I was making this game, I would basically disable. I would basically make it so your drop meter becomes like right when you get to 0 with it during a boss, like a little piece of lettering would appear and it says last breath, and it would just keep going until the boss is done. And then when it's finished, you immediately drop. I feel like that'd be a fairer way to do it and not like kill your pacing when you're playing through the game. But then some people can say, hey, I like the risk that you take where you have to be prepared. I like the urgency of I gotta finish this quickly or everything's gonna fall apart. It's like I have to urgently take out my foe. Which is kind of what they We will never speak of that again. It makes it more thrilling for people, is what I'm saying. Oh, it's a good thing we just made that fucking wood crossfade out of existence. How do you feel about the drop mechanic? I don't know if people have talked about it in the comments just yet, because I'm recording this the weekend before the LP is about to start. So let me know in the comments down below how you're feeling about it. Because I appreciate your comments and concerns and your takes on this. Because this is a series that I very much enjoy making. Because it gives me the opportunity to talk shop about my favorite series of all time. It gives me the opportunity to have a complete comprehensive series of the entire franchise. And it feels extra good when I finished Recoded. I was so happy, guys, because I got to look at a series that had, at that point, 6 full Let's Plays on the channel, all on one comprehensive series, over 100 episodes, and all of it just looks really nice. And given how easy it is to, compared to Recode, to do Dream Drop, it just feels like we're firing on all cylinders. Whenever you work on something and you finally see like the fruits of your labor, like kind of looking at it, you feel a good amount of accomplishment. I feel like that whenever I finish up Let's Plays, or if I have a really long, ongoing one like this one. Feels nice. Also, this is the first time I'm actually Let's Playing this game on the channel. This one was a long time coming. I was waiting on it. I was waiting to get a capture card for the 3DS for it, and then back in my mind I was thinking about HD collections for this would come out, and then finally we decided to bite the bullet and go through every game from scratch. It's working out quite well. I have no idea where I'm going. We're going this way. I know exactly where I'm going. I lied to you. Hold on, do we have any drop me nots like in my items? We do actually. Let's use this. Sometimes you get them from chests. Do that. There. Just like that. Just like that. We've only lost half of our first meter, so we can just go ahead and remove the drop me not, replace it with cure. Just like that, folks. We're in business. I was getting bothered by my command deck just now. Can you hit down? Thank you. Thank you. Sure. Reorder. There we go. I was bothered by these things not being at the top because I want the spells all grouped together, and I always put cures at the bottom. I'm a psychopath. Let's go! What do we got over here in the graveyard? I'd also kind of like to talk about how I feel like it's very important for a series to maintain its visual and like an interface identity, which I feel like this doesn't really come up much. People think about it. There are certain sound, visual cues, and things you're doing in a game that are very important to me, especially make things a bit more cohesive in a series. And I feel like Kingdom Hearts has managed to nail it pretty well and has made some missteps on it that have fixed. Everything down to how a game sounds, how a game looks, how its UI is presented. A lot of that's really important to me. You had Kingdom Hearts 1, which was like the start of the series, and it gave us some of the things that are still used today, whether it's special attacks, whether it's this stupid-ass key art of Sora on the bottom right, whether it's the various sounds you're hearing here. The fact that we're still playing new Kingdom Hearts games today that have these same tones, the same, like, pause menu style, and Kingdom Hearts 2 really standardized a lot of this stuff. I appreciate that. Being able to always hear the exact same sound whenever I open up and pick up an item, that means a lot specifically to me. Like, it really keeps you immersed within the series. I feel like a problem with some series you could find is that they will continue to evolve, but they become a little bit less recognizable with their previous entries. And Kingdom Hearts has managed to do that, has managed to keep this up quite well. Its only down points would be like the GBA version of Chain of Memories not looking, not having the same visual look to a degree, and the DS entries also for just being lower quality visually. But then you have the movies come out for everything, and then the remake of Chain of Memories, and you'll notice all the models look the same. Like, this could have been ripped out of Kingdom Hearts 1. You know, it's the same old look. I think that's also something, if we're going on a tangent here, that's something that I feel like has led people to have issues with Kingdom Hearts 3 and 0.2 by extension, which was the small little 2-hour prologue. Also, for this dungeon, your Dream Eaters, your spirits, will let you know of places that you can break open. But to get back to what I was saying, a lot of people are a bit hesitant on the Unreal Engine looking Kingdom Hearts stuff for KH3 and 0.2 because it doesn't look like Kingdom Hearts as much. Kingdom Hearts is getting itself a new identity visually when it comes to graphics, because everything else it's like, let's make this look like the PS2 games, which was easy when you made a PS2 game. You made 2 of those and then made a bunch of portable games where the highest thing they could shoot for was something that looks like a PS2 game. But once it went HD, all the models look a hell of a lot different, and people are getting used to that. And they didn't look the best early on. In fact, some of them still don't look good now. Watch that Toy Story trailer. Look at young Xehanort. Dude looks like a bug. Dude looks like a bug. I feel like it's technically a spoiler for me to call him young Xehanort because they haven't revealed it in this game. But, you know, actually no it's not, because there's that young Xehanort cutscene at the end of Coded that I included. That it's obvious. Oh man, gold eyes. Looks exactly like him, you know? But whatever. All I'm saying, The models aren't too good, and I totally get why some people haven't really jived with the Kingdom Hearts 3 model stuff, because what's very important about this series is keeping its visual identity, and I felt this especially strongly. Especially strong? Felt it pretty strongly in the Kingdom Hearts 0.2 when I was playing through that, because it did such a great job with making everything look just right. Even down to the menus, which I think was really good, especially because they jumped engines for that game. They jumped engines, and one issue I felt was the menus were a bit lagged, and they felt a bit more clunky, which for a demo of KH3 kind of makes sense, and I hope they work on those a little bit, but at its core, it looks like super high-quality HD versions of what those menus and everything would look like. And it's just really important for me to a game to keep its identity. Like, as soon as KH2 came out, HP bars were always on the top right. They were always green with a red flash whenever some of it depletes. You always had these standard combos. Item get icons on the top left always end up looking the same. There's specific things that stay with the series, and the series has done an incredible job of just always looking right. It's always looked a certain way for multiple entries, and you can't really say that for a lot of these. Then there's also the fact that the series has prided itself on doing a lot of really cool, experimental stuff. I had a moment here where I had no idea where the enemy was that I was supposed to fight. We're gonna fail this, aren't we? Yeah, we are. Wasn't my fine? Know or what? Know it? You know it? You know what? I like, he was like, you know what? I'm just gonna run out here and run back up there, and I'm pretty sure the portal will still be there. It's not my fault. I ran into a problem. I forgot lock-ons on both shoulder buttons. So we're gonna take this from the top. But whenever a series is your favorite, I feel like, or something, whenever you have something you're passionate about, you think about it in more broad. You think about it with more. You're more specific with it. You like to explore whether it's something like a story's themes, lore, different aspects of it. You get into the minutia of whatever it is you're really passionate about. And for me, it's, it comes down to all of this stuff. How the lock-on looks, how the character art, how that ends up looking, how all of these mechanics tie into each other, how they've changed and updated things. Even, I was talking about, what was it, a few episodes ago, about how they changed, the end of spell names from, like, Blizzaja to Blizzaza. If we're going by KH3 trailers, I look into all of that type of stuff. You can't do this to me! What?
Listen to me, you fucking feline. You think this is a fucking game? You think this is a game? You think you can just...
You think you can just come out here? You can come out here and ruin my life like this? You think you can get away with it? You did. You did. And now, all I get is Dulcet Figment. Maybe I wanted more than Dulcet Figment. I had to have a drink of water. Because when your job is yelling all day, man, does it kick your ass. Let's see if we can create a new Spyrite. Because KZ is in a fucking mood. Troubling Fancy can mix with Rampant Figment to make that. This is like how I prefer to make these things. Because you don't always have the recipe, so you end up wanting to mess around here a little bit. See what you can... Oh, there's a 40% chance we get something completely different, but we don't have the materials for that. We can make that sheep. Is that all we can... No, we can make this. We'll make this guy. Give him a command. You can have thunder. Let's make a dude. So this is Yagi Ram. He is a precious boy. And we're gonna keep his name. He's like, yeah, look at me. I jump. Me and Yagi Ram are off to a nice start. So we'll do change party. And add him to the fold. He's like, hey man. Hey man. I think that's all I really wanted to say about when it comes to visual, making everything look cohesive and sound good. The information bar has also been another thing that's like that too, where they introduced that in KH2. Some people don't like it, I've heard, where they're like, I don't really like it because a lot of it seems obvious. I think it's really good at just displaying the information and just condensing it, and I feel like that's just important. I feel like you should always know what you're doing, and making it so it's not limited to a button, I think is great. I feel like games, you need to make sure to let people know where you're going, what you're doing, what the goal is. And the fact that it isn't tied to a button, so you're not having to waste an input on it's really nice. I think it nails that pretty good. That, and I like, you know, sometimes you get excited about what the information bar has to say. And I'm like, you know, this information bar is worth it just for that one time it said, put Peter Pan in his place. I'm like, that's a big fucking mood, guys. Well, let's do Fire Windmill. Spin the Keyblade like a windmill as you rush the enemy, landing multiple hits and possibly igniting targets. And that one you just hold on to some spirits, so I don't care for that. Also, all the DP we're picking up, those are droplets. We cash these in as soon as we drop to the other character, giving them buffs. So another reason you don't want to drop immediately, and you want to have like prolonged moments with one character, is you can buff the other one pretty damn well. Though my plan at this moment is going through each world one at a time. So we're going to end up doing one with Sora, then we're going to do it with Riku, and just kind of do it like that. I think is how I'm feeling it. My spirit seems to be on to something. Is he now? Could it be this? Oh yes. You can also get rid of this poison stuff, I believe, with some sort of jar in that area, but we're not gonna worry about that. Ah! Oh, also you can dash at an enemy for a flow motion attack, where you slam them into other enemies. That's one that I actually haven't shown off yet. Only works on bigger enemies, though. Well, we've made it to the Court of Miracles. And now let's buy ourselves some stuff. First and foremost, Drop-Me-Nots are cheap as hell, so you're going to want to use them at every opportunity. We're going to go ahead and buy 5. That'll be enough for a world or 2. And then we're going to start selling shit that is unnecessary, i.e. potions. No, we don't need potions. Not right now, not for a while. I want to build some stuff up, so if I can sell some stuff for value, I'm gonna do that. Got ourselves like 700 there. Then there's Noble Fantasy. If it's a fantasy, I'm probably not gonna sell it. Troubling Figment, I have no problem dropping a couple bones on that. Selling that up. And then there's some more recipes here we can pick up, but I'll deal with that later. What I needed was to get some more candy goggles, because that's going to make my characters a little bit better. Let's talk to Esmeralda. Hello, buy shoes, you poor woman.
Quasimodo? What are you doing here?
Phoebus and I came to warn you. Frollo's on his way. Take what you can and flee.
Well done, Captain Phoebus. Thankfully, you are every bit as predictable as I had hoped. Dear Quasimodo, I always knew you would someday be of use to me. I have you at last, you witch. There'll be a bonfire in the square.
No. Please, Master.
Huh.
Frollo, I won't let you do this! No! Quasimodo? Esmeralda! Phoebus! He's taking her to a bonfire in the square. I gotta hurry!